All right, guys. We are here. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing great today. It is Friday. We got building permit housing start data coming out pretty soon. Yeah, we got nvda still sitting, just under lifetime highs. Hit new lifetime highs yesterday, just over 140.71, which was the previous lifetime high. It's now at 140.89 is the new lifetime high. Still pretty close to that original one though. Building permit housing start data comes out soon. We'll cover the rest of the news. Guys, we are here. All right. So, did we get bearish or bullish action after the opening bell today? Vote on the poll. Let me know what you guys think. I start covering some news. We got some data. What's up, Beach Bum? We got building permit housing start data coming out. Again, the SPY sitting around. Wait, where are the new lifetime highs? Sitting around lifetime highs. Here's the previous lifetime high. Really, the new one's right at 586.12, but 586.30 is the one we hit pre-market yesterday. What's up, Sean? Trance, Beach, TK, Crash, Arif, Koi, Keegan, Faye, Game, Ray, Chris. What's up, guys? Good morning. Yeah, Netflix earnings yesterday. They killed it. They are up to 730s in Netflix earnings. 730s. Crazy good earnings, to be honest. Netflix posted subscriber growth slowed. So that's one thing. Netflix ended up posting 423 EPS revenue of 10.12 billion. Again, 423, 10.12 billion for Netflix yesterday. These are the numbers right here. Wait. Bullish till resistance and stop to play people on Monday. All right, guys. So yeah, we are looking at all these other stocks. Netflix popping the market up. Look at that. So again, we got the SPY up again today. Netflix actually rising more this morning in pre-market. It ended the day yesterday at what, like 720s. It's now at 730s. Netflix continuing to rise. We put the numbers for Netflix up right here. Here is their earnings. Yeah, we'll see what we get. Oh man, we're starting the stream kind of early this morning, and that's okay. Is it cold outside right now? Let me see. No, it's not. It's 79 degrees. Wasn't it cold yesterday? Dude, why does my eye itch so much, man? Ugh. Oh, let's see. All right, Weather Channel. So this thing says it's 54 degrees outside. That's nice. Oh, dude, cold weather is here. I'm freaking excited about it, man. Yeah, we're going to try to be a little bit better with how we trade this morning. Alright, guys. So, okay, dude, freaking, okay. Dude, AI gets this so wrong, bro. Like, so wrong. So this is what AI, so I said, hey, AI, give me my walkthrough and stream breakdown for today, October 18th, 2024. This is the first thing, this is the first thing AI tells me. AI tells me this, and I'm going to preface this with like, look, this is completely wrong. This is just not accurate. This didn't happen. All right. It says, number one, Tesla earnings miss. Tesla reported earnings last night falling short of expectations. Weaker than expected demand and narrowing profit margins, particularly on the Model 3, led to a stock drop in pre-market. Discuss how Tesla's earnings are affecting broader sentiment in tech. It's like, bro, Tesla earnings did not come out yesterday. Not that I'm aware of. Let me make sure. Maybe it did. Nope, it did not. Good job, AI. What the heck are you talking about? Now I gotta yell at this thing. Tesla earnings did not come out yesterday. Why are you saying this? You're right. Tesla earnings were not reported yesterday. Let me correct that and adjust your breakdown. See, now I'm kind of skeptical of everything. All right, so it's saying Microsoft seeing some gains this morning. It should be talking about, and Microsoft's not really up either. Weird. Bank of America releases quarter 3, stronger than expected. Jobless claims. Yeah, so this thing's just all wrong. It's telling me jobless claims are coming out today. Yeah. My problem, like what they should do better than this, is like, how does AI get to the point where you can ask it for something and instead of needing accuracy, it just kind of runs with stuff, right? Like, it's starting to tell me what Tesla did. What would be interesting if it got it right? Like, what if Tesla did show up? What did it say Tesla would show up as? It said Tesla would show up as, it said Tesla showed up as, yeah, it says jobless claims data coming out today. It says Tesla earnings missed, falling short of expectation. Model 3 led to stock drop profits. Or Model 3 margin problems led to stock dropping. Yeah. Gold is up today. Gold just broke lifetime highs, I think, right? Is this right? Yeah, gold broke lifetime highs this morning, chat. Look at gold today. Gold up there, doing things. Yeah, I'm looking at the market action yesterday. It was a little volatile for sure. It was choppy mostly, but the VWAP held. 200 EMA held really well. Gold has been on a tear. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to make sure we don't have anything else today. I'm pretty sure we don't. I know we have building permits, housing start data coming out in about an hour. We got some FOMC members speaking. specifically, maybe I should cover that. I'm not going to cover the actual speech, but we got Bostic speaking at 9:30, Kashkari speaking at 10. I'm just hoping we get, like, it's been a slow week for economic reports, and that's the nature of the game. Like, my channel does really, really well because we, like, there's usually some type of economic data coming out that we can cover, and people have kind of known me for that, and so people tune in, and we get thousands of people that tune in for those big economic reports. But I guess part of the downside is when nothing's going on, like this week, and really a lot of next week, that we're just kind of boring. I should try to go on vacation now, but got some bond auctions coming out. We got the Bank of Canada rate decision next week. Tuesday we got. It's just such a slow time, man. Durable good orders Friday. We got a little bit of stuff Friday, but still nothing big. How's it going, mate? It's going good, man. Maybe it's telling you the future. Yeah, I don't freaking know. I bought 140 shares of Netflix before the close yesterday. Life is good. Nice. Dragos. Congrats, man. That's great. That's great. 140 shares. That's a good sized position for Netflix for sure. Good job, dude. Market rally, please. Yeah, I hope so, dude. We'll see. Let's get it. Y'all make some money. Yeah, we'll see, dude. Apple iPhone 16 is selling 20% faster in China than its predecessors. So that's good. We're looking at that news. Alright, guys. We're getting SPY up to 584. Lifetime high on the SPY is just $2 above it. So the SPY has really got a decent chance of like getting over these lifetime highs today again. Here's the previous one right here. And then here's where we are now. So it's got a shot. It definitely could break these levels. We'll see if it does. I gotta figure out a better place. I might stick myself on the top here. This is probably a little bit better. That way y'all can actually like see everything. Where's Bitcoin? I haven't looked at it in a couple days, really. Yeah, Bitcoin up to almost 68K. Looks good. Looks good. We'll see if it continues. The building permit data is probably not going to move stuff. We're just going to cover it because it's interesting. It gauges real estate, and I think real estate is an interesting thing to look at right now because of essentially like the rate cuts have been influencing everything, and so I think it's important to watch the building permit and data because it'll just give us some type of information on the real estate sector. And I think that's important to look at right now with rate cuts looming and all that stuff going on. Honestly, personally, guys, I'm just ready for this election to end. You know? All right, chat. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these. Trying to see what's going on in the market. I'm trying to see if there's a prompt I can use to get better AI updates. DC CVS. Yeah, CVS swapped out their CEO, so CVS let go of their current CEO and opted to hire a different CEO that's been with the company a little bit for a while. I mean, so that's why CVS is down. I guess just instability from them swapping out their CEO is basically what this is. Ally Financial posted numbers. They posted 95-cent profit versus 55 cents expected. Revenue of 2.06 versus 2.03 expected. Here is Ally's data. How will having the first female American president affect financial markets? I think the biggest, so right now, and this is just a generalization of everything, right? The right has been historically more known for being pro-business, less taxes. The left has been a little bit more social causes and in turn higher taxes, right? Like that's usually like the ideology of each side. And so, I don't know how things are going to affect the markets in terms of the election. I really don't. But I would assume if it follows that theme, and again, I'm not saying I want or don't want either one of those. I'm very neutral. I really am. I dislike all of it. I'm just ready for it to end, regardless of who wins. I'm just ready for the thing to end. But I would assume if the person on the left gets elected, we might have a little bit more fear regarding business. Versus, but again, at the same time, you could also look at it as instability. Or there's a lot of ways you could look at it. What do you guys think? How do you guys think the market will respond there? Again, NVIDIA up to 138.50. So NVIDIA, where's lifetime highs? NVIDIA popped over. We're sitting just under lifetime high levels. All right. Yeah, so again, there's the lifetime highs on a lot of the stuff. I'm going to put up 3 charts just so we can have 3 different charts we can look at. We'll put up Tesla here. Tesla all the way down to 220s after the robo-taxi event. Apple. Yeah, Apple's been going crazy. Yeah, Apple up to 237s here. What's the all-time highs for Apple? 237.50. So Apple's sitting close to all-time highs as well. Look at Apple. Look at Apple. Here's Tesla. Here's the SPY. So we got a range here. We do have a range. I'll put a timer up so we can get the timer going on with the. Although just to be fair, I do not think this economic data is going to be an influence over markets much at all. This data drops in 46 and a half minutes. We'll call it 46. And so I don't think it's going to be a big influence over markets at all. Is the Bitcoin downward trend broken by the 68.5 rally? Let's take a look. So here's Bitcoin. Here's the long-term trend I've been mentioning, and it has broken on the upside. This might be a major move, although at the same time, like, it's still kind of within that trend because of this here, right? Like, this does follow that trend. And so the question is, does it hold? Like, you could in theory still draw the same trend here, right? You could have that, something like that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but you could have something like that. Tesla should be sub 200. That even was. Did you catch Drew Brees got honor last night? Yeah, for sure. The Saints are just so hard to watch right now, though, Faye. The Saints are terrible, man. They're just terrible. I know they have Spencer Rattler on the team now. And I was optimistic. He looked okay in the first half of the last game they played on Sunday or Monday or Sunday. So he looked all right then. But, man, he is just not good now. I guess they figured him out. Yeah, the Saints, man, they're just not looking good. They're the Aints now. I can't watch it. It's so hard to watch. You know, Derek Carr got hurt, and then Spencer Rattler did okay. It's just they're just so hard to watch, man. Yeah, they're just not good. And it's so disappointing, too, because the Saints looked great to start the year. They were 2-0. They did great to start the year, and then just game after game now has been horrible. How's baseball going, man? I haven't been paying attention. It's been busy. Let's see. We got the Yankees. Number 2 is the Orioles. Guardians at the top. Do they still have what's his face? Ramirez? Jose Ramirez? Did they still have him? Astros at the top. We came back, man. Brewers, Dodgers. If Shohei Ohtani can do his thing, we'll see if he can help him win. Phillies at the top, Brewers, Dodgers. Yeah, so Yankees, Guardians, Astros. The Mariners are right behind us with J-Rod. Kamara is playing with an injury with zero help. They didn't protect Rattler. Yeah, for sure. And Rattler seemed good. He's just... What do you think about my idea as a generation? I think we should start picking... No. I'm not even going to mention that. Baseball and playoffs. I haven't even been watching it, man. Are the Astros out? Oh, they've been eliminated. Boo. I'm not even watching. I haven't been watching baseball at all this year. So who's in the finals? Yeah, it's my left eye. Yanks, Guardians, Dodgers, and Mets. Well, I'm going with the Dodgers, and I want to see Shohei get his ring. All right, chat. Futures moving up. Yeah, I'm looking at NASDAQ here. NASDAQ at 20.5K. So, where's the all-time highs on the NASDAQ? Almost 21K is all-time high. So we're still about $500 away. Is it time to short gold? I don't know. How do you not short silver right now? Again, we're at 236.50s for Apple. Bitcoin up there, SPY up there too. We'll start trying to day trade. I've gotten my butt kicked day trading the last couple days. I really have. Hey, John, how's the contract with Sony going? About as good as my Aquafina contract. You know how it goes, you know. All right. Yeah, so I'm looking at this. We had AI build this for me yesterday. So this is the elections of the past 100 years, in which the market actually had a red year preceding the election. 32, 1, and this is out of 26, I believe, is how many this is. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 26. So this is over 80% green year. So what this means, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now, and I'm counting 28. I don't know if I'm wrong. Alright, instead of me counting it, AI, you count it. Not really known for good accuracy, but we'll see. Let's see if it's going to give me a good year. We'll see. Right, does it take that long? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not. Man, AI is dumb. The total years. Not the years in which it was red. Alright, I could have counted this already. It's 25, it's saying. Alright, let me count it right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 3. Or that's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so they must not have counted 2024. Okay, so yeah, we'll call it 80%. So 80% of the time, from January to November 5th, leading into the election, it's green 80% of the time. We have bullish green action 80% of the time leading into that. And that's an interesting statistic because it kind of shows you that one of the easiest bets is during election years. Unless we have kind of crazy stuff going on, you're going to most of the time be green buying it in January, even if you sell it in November if you're fearful of like the outcome. Who said the market won't fall again? Oh yeah, John from Beginner Trading. I'd buy water from that guy. Yeah, dude, what a ridiculous, like whoever came up with that scam has got to be super dumb, you know? Like anybody with half a brain is going to be like, Aquafina is not reaching out to me, you know? Like the fact that they assume, well, again, like Aquafina sitting around being like, you know what we need? We need a marketing campaign. Let's call John from Beginner Trading. He's the one that can help us sell water, you know? Like, dude, like, think about the actual percentage of people that would ever buy water from me. Like, I'm selling, hey guys, buy Aquafina. Like, anybody's gonna pay extra weight. You can go to freaking Circle K. You can go to the gas station and pick up the same amount of water. It's just stupid. It's dumb. It's a terrible idea. But again, they get people in that they desperately want people to believe it's real. And that's the ridiculous part of it, is that it's just not very realistic. Yeah, for those that might not understand what I'm saying, so I get these scammer emails, and they're 100% scammers. Like, they'll be like, yeah, we're Sony, or yeah, we're Aquafina, we want to sponsor you, you know? And what they're doing is they're just trying to scam you. They're trying to scam me. They're either fishing for data. They might be hoping that I'm dumb enough to fall for it, and that, like, I don't know what their game plan is after that. My guess is they would be like, yeah, you gotta send us a gift card to sign up or something. I don't know what their game is there, but they're ridiculous. The market's basically going up 0.5% every day. Yeah. There's a lot of fun statistics during election years. My question is, are we humans just looking for patterns and random events? No. I think 80% shows that it's not random. If it was random, 25, you can always have some variance because it's a low sample size. But I do think that 80%. I think it's very common knowledge that most of the time during election years we have green action. Which is why I've been telling everybody, like, you've had so many people tell me the market was going to crash imminently over the last 8 months, 9 months. And one of the biggest reasons I told them it probably wouldn't is because it's an election year. It's very predictable outcome of an election year, which is that we're going to be green. If you look at the SPY, it's not all the time. Nothing's 100%, but most of the time we're going to be green. Here's 2024. And here's the SPY price action to start the year. Like, this all is basically 2024. So just huge green action this year. And it's not a crazy thing either. It's not a shock that this is the action we get. What moves market more, sentiment or fundamentals? Well, I mean, they're both based off of the same thing. Sentiment is based around fundamentals. Yeah, it's an election year, and we'll see what happens after, All right, guys. So yeah, I see this post, and this post is actually really funny, and it's so true, right? Some people say, quote, there's this quote, it's crazy that we figured out how to grow real diamonds that are cheaper and better quality than the real thing. And so many people are still like, no thanks, the suffering is what makes it special. Yeah, I agree. I think it's crazy. Lab-grown diamonds are diamonds. They're actual diamonds, right? But like, what's interesting is the price. Let me see if I can find a price graph of lab-grown diamonds. Because prices are just going down and down. And you know why? It's because it's not actually that expensive to grow your own lab-grown diamonds. So you can literally buy the machine and, like, grow your own lab-grown diamonds at home. And because of that, you got a lot of jewelry stores popping up that sell diamonds, right? Number one, everybody and their grandma is trying to sell these things now, and that is, supply and demand over abundance of supply. The prices are going down, and you can kind of see this change here. Look, here's 1 carat lab grown diamond prices over the last year. Oof, man. Look at this thing. So here's 1 carat lab grown diamond sales over the past year. It's a rough graph for lab grown diamonds, no? Yeah, y'all be sure to join Beach Bum on his stream on Saturday and Sundays. Hit that subscribe button on his channel, guys. Go check him out. I thought sentiment was more subjective, like your attitude versus fundamental earnings. Well, no, it is. So sentiment just means your opinion, basically. Like how you're feeling about it is what sentiment means. But my point behind it was that how you feel about something, especially in stocks and long-term views, are based off of fundamentals, right? Like if a company has good EPS, good revenue, good earnings, good guidance, right? Like the more people are going to buy it, and the sentiment might be higher for it. Like good news causes positive sentiment, basically. Like good fundamental news, if that makes sense. Yeah, but look at the lab-grown diamonds. But yeah, look at these lab-grown diamonds. So here's 1 carat. If you look, I wonder, like, let me see, percentage change. Let's just look at the actual price. So yeah, a 1 carat lab grown diamond in January of this year was at about $800 for 1 carat lab grown diamond. It's now at $600. If we look at watch prices as well, I like looking at all these independent markets of stuff, right? Like we look at watch prices. Rolexes have taken a hit too. But honestly, we kind of been bouncing back for the last few months. So here is Rolex prices over the last 2 years straight. And this is a little bit like, you got to understand what we're looking at here. So here is Rolex prices over the last 2 years. The reason this is a little bit different is because what we saw prior to this, right? Like prior to this, we saw a huge run up to this level here, right? The reason we saw a huge run up is because the pandemic happened, stimulus checks. A lot of people spent them on luxury goods like Rolexes, and this pumped up the price of Rolex short term. And then eventually, like I can show you the actual graph behind it. Yeah, so again, if I put a 5-year chart up, here's a 5-year chart of Rolex prices based off of, and one thing you'll see is that Rolex does perform similar to the S&P 500, at least over the past like 15 years. Now it's not perfectly balanced with it, like the trends aren't the same, it's not parallel, but yeah, you can kind of see how much stuff has gone up since then. Let's see if we get some rebounds. Long-term Rolex prices are probably going to go up. Yeah, all good, Beach Bum. Well, that's not really a thing, crash coming. That's not really a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but it's not big enough of a niche to really even watch. I doubt there's even graphs on it. Maybe there is. I don't know. Yeah, so I'm looking at 1 carat lab grown diamonds. I want to throw some other stats in here. Let's look at 4 carat. 4 carat lab grown diamonds have been a little bit more stable. Or actually, no, never mind. They're down 50. They're down almost 50%. Wow, dude. So the big diamond prices, and this is lab grown diamonds. Look at this graph. They are down freaking 45% in a year. 45% decrease in a year. That's crazy. Yeah, well, diamonds aren't really valuable. I mean, diamonds are valuable. Let me clarify. but they're not super rare. You know, they're mostly artificially influenced by the diamond market. You know, so like, I definitely can't tell the difference. A jeweler can though. A jeweler can. You know, and I'm not a big diamond guy. Like, I finally bought a Rolex from. I was trying to form a relationship with what's called an AD, an authorized dealer for Rolex, because if you form a relationship with them and they have like good, like, there's some Rolexes that if you buy it brand new directly from Rolex, you can immediately take it and sell it on the secondary market for $10,000-$15,000 more than you buy it for, right? So these relationships with ADs are so valuable to people. And so, but a lot of the time, the procedure that they use is they're going to make you buy some crap first that you don't really need. And so I had one call me, and he was like, hey, I got this Datejust. And if it was just an ordinary Datejust, I'd probably keep it, right? A brand new Datejust is nice, but it had diamonds on it. I'll show you guys the one it was. This is the watch right here. No, this is not the watch. It was a 41 mil. Let me find it. No, none of those are it. No, this is it right here. So it's this watch, which in hindsight isn't that bad. I just couldn't do it, right? Like, I just couldn't do it. So it's this watch right here. And so I bought it anyway from him, knowing that I could, and I didn't really, I maybe made a couple $1,000s from it. I might have made like $1 or $2 grand, but I immediately traded it for to another Rolex guy for something else, right? Something that I liked more, because I just can't get down with the diamonds, like, not in a men's watch. And again, it's just preference, it's subjective, but to me, I'm never gonna freaking wear this, right? Like, I can't wear this to Walmart. I can't wear this to the store, and so I just couldn't do it. But I did make a little bit of money on the deal, but the point remains, I'm just not a big diamonds guy. I'm not really a big diamonds wearer. I don't really want to wear diamonds, not in my watches. Did I get started by something? I got bit by something. Hey, good luck, Trance. Young men, if you're getting engaged by manufacturing diamonds, many jewelers with high-tech magnification cannot tell the difference. Are you talking about lab-grown? Well, yeah, I mean, they could tell the difference for sure, you know. The reason they could tell the difference is because lab-grown diamonds are perfect. You know, so when you look at them under a microscope, if it's perfect, they're going to know it's lab-grown. You know what I mean? So. All right, guys. So, yeah, again, we're looking at the market. Here's the SPY. We got 21 minutes or so until the data releases. 21 minutes. Do you watch the YouTube Rolex guys? I watch Vuko, I think is his name. I don't really watch him like that. Like, I will watch some of his shorts. Like, if they're on my YouTube channel and he's talking about, because I know watches, and so like if he's talking about trading a watch that I know, I'm curious. I might watch it for 45 seconds and tune away. I don't watch any of the long-term ones. And I really don't try to sell watches. To be honest, the margins selling watches in the secondary market are not good enough. Like, you might be able to buy a Rolex and then sell it to somebody else same day even and make $1,000 profit. And if you do that 5, 6, 7 times a month, you make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 or more or less a month, right? But that's a lot of work. I guess it's not too bad. You're making about $1,000 or more or less every time you do it, but it's just the reason I don't do it is taxes. Like, you're gonna lose a lot of that to taxes, and then a lot of those guys don't pay taxes, and that just seems like a risky thing for me. Yeah, building permits, housing start data in 20 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm lucky my wife isn't super, I'm not gonna say vain, but super materialistic in that regard, right? Like, she's never been a big jewelry person. Like, really, for the last few months, I've been offering to buy her a new wedding ring, or asking her if she would want me to get her a new ring, because the one I got her, you know, Carol and I got married at the courthouse. Like, I got her wedding ring from a pawn shop, and she helped me pick it out, right? Like, we were very young when we got married, and I've always told her I would upgrade the ring when I could, and just hadn't gotten around to it. But then she said she doesn't mind it. She likes her old one, which is good. But the lab grown market makes it interesting. Anyways. Yeah, there's a lot of sketchiness that goes on there. And I really do think wedding-wise, right? I think the bigger the wedding, the less likely it is to succeed. Her and I got married at the courthouse. We've been with each other for 14 years. Versus people who have these big, drawn-out weddings that a lot of the time they don't work. There's a lot of pressure. Right, for sure. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. Apple up big. I'm going to watch Apple to see if we can break highs. I'm trying not to trade this morning, guys. I got my butt kicked yesterday. And so I got my butt kicked yesterday. I don't really want to push it too hard today. I really don't. I'm kind of nervous, too. Q or SPY, and while I like looking at both, the Q is more tech heavy, so the QQQ has more tech stocks in it versus the SPY, which has a little bit more diversified and everything. Yeah, well, CVS is down because they got a new CEO. So CVS swapped out their CEO, I think. Let me see. Yeah, so CVS named David Joyner as the new chief executive officer. It warned that its coming earnings will once again fall short of Wall Street expectations, sending shares in the company down 13%. David Joyner is taken over as the new CEO of the struggling healthcare giant, replacing Karen Lynch, the company said Friday. After the Wall Street Journal first reported the news, Joyner has been president of CVS Caremark, the company's pharmacy benefit manager, as well as an executive vice president of CPS. Roger Farah, chairman of CVS's board of directors, will also become executive chairman. CVS is making the changes after repeatedly cutting its forecast for the year's financial performance, moves that led to a 19% decline in its share price this year, a push for changes by a major hedge fund, and board review of strategy that included the option of breaking up the company. They're now planning to announce third quarter results that will fall short of expectations, largely due to continued issues at its Aetna insurance unit, and to back away from its most recent full-year earnings projection for 24 issued in August. A downgrade would represent the fourth since the company's investor day in December of 23. They said, quote, "We believe that we have a really important part to play in terms of simplifying and delivering a better healthcare experience for this country," Joyner said. "CVS's assembled assets will allow it to actually deliver on the promises that we've made, and now it's all about execution," end quote. And so, yeah, that's why CVS is down. They basically think that they're going to underperform another earnings report. Here's CVS dropping significantly, pretty big percentage drop too. They're down $10 a share for a $64 company. It's a pretty large drop. What is that, like? Yeah, let me see. It's like 15% or something, something like that, right? So yeah, that's like what, 15%? Let's see, from 64 down to 54. Yeah, 15%. Okay, good. Man, my head math is on point. Look at that. You love to see it. But yeah. Yeah, if you pull out a jeweler's loop, you're gonna be able to see if it's lab grown. Yeah, I've just been getting my butt kicked in day trading. I'm trying not to risk too much, to be honest. All right, chat. We are sitting around waiting for something. The election's here. Market's kind of off. You know what's a scary thing in the world right now? It's genuinely scary, right? How many arrest videos are on YouTube? Like, I'm very lucky. Like, I've never really been arrested personally, but like, I'm very lucky I grew up in the age where nobody had their phone out videoing everything, right? Like, I've done some dumb stuff over the years, right? Every kid has, for the most part. And so the fact that, like, we're in a world in which your phone is just whipped out and all your worst moments in life are videotaped and posted on the internet, that's a scary thing, right? Like, I had this friend that I knew, and this friend always kind of had problems. I haven't really seen him over the years. He was, like, in hindsight, he might have been a little, I'm not going to say narcissistic, but the dude was super selfish, right? Just really selfish, self-centered. He thought he was smarter than everybody, but it was kind of obvious whenever he would try to be like, whenever he was trying to take advantage of somebody, it was more obvious than he realized, you know. So he would walk around kind of trying to weasel his way into stuff, but it was super obvious, you know. So what happened is people just kind of distanced themselves from him, and I don't think he could help it. I think he had like some OCD. And anyways, back to the point. This guy, all I did was hear the stories, right? This guy ended up like getting into a fight with police about something, right? Apparently he like spit on them and like did all kind of crazy stuff to it. All I did was hear stories. Apparently he was drinking and like walking by somebody's house, and then they were, I don't know what happened, to be honest, but you know, they put his mugshot on the internet, right? And so nowadays, anybody that gets one is like shamed. They're like, look, we got this mugshot, you know? And that's a scary thing, man. That's a scary thing. I guess it's a deterrent. At the very least, it deters you from committing crimes, which is good. But man, I also think I don't think it's the right thing either, though. I think you got to let people make mistakes privately and not blast their drama out to everybody. And I think that's a scary world, you know. I'm just gonna have to teach my kids, don't act up on camera, you know. What's up, Abe? All right, guys, we got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Building permit housing start data. We'll see what happens. Yeah. These videos are working both ways, showing dummies and then also showing bad cops. Yeah, for sure. I think my only thing with police officers is that there needs to be more testing for them, because like every now and then you'll see like a police officer that obviously like can't control himself. And I'm not talking about like a scorn cop that's been doing it for 20 years that like, I'm talking about like you got like a 20-year-old who obviously has like social issues, right? Like that kid should never be a cop, right? Lately I've gotten into like the police impersonators. Watching those guys is crazy. What was that? Alright, everything's fine. But, anyways. Yeah, I'm looking at the real estate investment trust. Somebody sell me on real estate investment trusts. I'm curious about them. Do they pay dividends? What does that look like? Let me ask AI to break this down. The good thing is that I can just use AI to break this down. So one of the biggest benefits is regular dividend income. Steady dividend income. By law, real estate investment trusts must distribute 90% of their taxable income to shareholders in the form of dividends. This makes them a reliable source of income for investors seeking yields, especially in a low interest rate environment. Dividend yields for REITs typically range from 3 to 8%, making them attractive compared to bonds or stocks. Investing in these provides diversification in a portfolio. They typically have low correlation with other assets like stocks and bonds, which means they can act as a hedge against volatility. They allow individual investors to gain exposure to various estate sectors, commercial, residential, healthcare, without directly owning properties, which reduces risk and increases diversification. Unlike traditional historically, REITs have generated total annual returns, including divvies and appreciation, of around 8 to 12% long term. This can fluctuate, so a little bit better than the S&P or the NASDAQ. What are your favorite real estate investment trusts, guys? Healthcare Realty. I don't know, bro. You know, because again, like the one you're telling me to buy has been downtrending since 2019, 2018. Like this is the one you're telling me to buy. No offense, Ed. It's all good, bro. I get it. Like we all like what we like, and you might be right, but this is it since 2018. It's been depreciating pretty heavily, and I don't know if they all have done this, but yeah, I don't know if they've all done this or what, but it's interesting to see what happens. All right, guys, and again, if you haven't already, we're going to be day trading today. I'm trying not to get my butt kicked day trading today like I did yesterday and the day before, really. And so what I'm doing is I'm waiting until after the opening bell to day trade. But if you want to limit your risk day trading, do not put up your own money and risk thousands of dollars. It makes absolutely no sense. It genuinely makes no sense. In the futures market, you can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies, no PDT rule. So you can get around the PDT rule. If you want to day trade stocks that way, you're going to need to spend, 20 to 30K on it. To day trade actively in a margin account with stocks, it just doesn't make any sense. In the futures market, you can day trade all those things. Most pro day traders trade futures, and Top Step allows you to get started for super cheap. And so it's limiting your risk, especially when you're first getting started. The base one's only $49 a month, and so that's your risk, $49 a month. They're going to give you a 50K demo account. If you can pass their test, which is making 3K in profit without losing 2K on a 50K demo, and following their rules, if you could do that, they fund you 50K 90% split, and they pay out millions of dollars to their traders. They're one of the most legit in the world. They pay out millions and millions of dollars. If you lose the challenge, if you don't pass the challenge, you only lose $49. So you have this really unique, powerful scenario where limited risk, $49 for the base one. If you pass it, you get a 90% split. I think you can also keep your first 10 or 20K in profit as well. Huge edge there. And it's similar to funding yourself with 90% split. And so it just limits your risk. Great way to do it. Most pro day traders trade futures, and the patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns in futures. I can basically day trade the QQQ price action. I can day trade the SPY price action in futures through the E-mini. Through the E-minis, I should say. And so it's a great way to learn how to day trade. If you want to check it out, they are an affiliate or a sponsor of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased because of it, but incredibly useful, in my opinion. Incredibly useful. If you want to check out the link, there it is. The big part about Top Step X, the big powerful thing, is that there's 0 commissions on Top Step X. And so I can trade micro contracts here, 74 cents in fees. That's it. That's it, all in the entire trade. So I can make $6, $5, $5, $30, $18, and still net profit on these trades. It's the biggest edge in funding right now. And so again, you can check it out in the description if you want more. I'm waiting here, guys. I'm not really trying to get stuck losing ahead of the opening bell. So I'm going to wait and let some stuff happen first. But yeah. I lost a few hundred. Hey, bud. How you doing, man? Okay, what you got there? Hey, your mom just cleaned my office. That's your, my lion statue. Okay, hey, we'll put it down.
Why do you have a lion statue?
Because I like lions. Because I'm King Lion in this house.
Is this a Dundee?
Yeah, that's a Dundee.
Hey.
Hey, look, y'all. Put my stuff up here, Jack. Listen, remember where'd he go? Remember that guy up there? The Wall Street Bets guy? He's armless now. He's missing an arm. Why? Because you were picking it up and messing with it. Thank you. I love you. Now put it down. Jack. Alright. Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. Here.
Love you, Daddy.
Love you. Here. I love you.
Okay.
I love you. Y'all have a great day. Alright, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm back. Alright, guys. We got 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes left. Will the market hold? I don't think. What's the, I'm going to put the Vanguard. I guess there's no real estate futures, huh? I'm going to put the dollar index. I wonder how this is going to affect the dollar. I'm going to put gold up as well. There's gold. There's the SPY. Again, we got 2 minutes left. Neo Supermicro with pre-market green. Where's Supermicro at? 47s. Oh, it's at, yeah, 48s. Dipped a little bit yesterday, but that's all right. We're also going to throw this in sub-only mode, chat, so if you have not already, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. We got a minute and a half left. I know everybody just tunes in when we have economic data coming out. Today's not even a big economic report, just to put this into perspective, but we get like a surge of hundreds of people that show up right at 8:30, because y'all know I'm the best at 8:30. At 8:30, you know I'm covering stuff quickly, and I appreciate y'all tuning in, but again, today's not really a big day. I'd rather be honest with you, and so it's not really going to influence markets in any significant way. We're covering it like we do here, chat, but yeah. Expectations today are 1.45 million for building permits. Housing start data is probably the biggest one. It's at 1.35 million expectation, 1.35 million. So again, we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get. I'm curious. All right, we got 30 seconds, chat. 30 seconds. I'm gonna turn this timer off. This timer's a little bit early. We got 30 seconds. Magic tricks. Yeah. All right, we got 10 seconds. All right, 1.35 million is what's expected for housing starts. And again, we'll see what happens. Here's the dollar index. Here's gold. And housing starts showed up at 1.35 million, higher than expected. Building permits showed up lower than expected. Housing starts dipped 0.5% month to month, 0.5% dip. And so, yeah, a little bit more housing starts, but a 0.5% dip month to month. A little bit more than expected, that means. But the 0.5% dip stems from 1.36 million last time. We showed up at 1.354 million today, 0.5% down. Building permits showed up minus 2.9% month to month. But again, the housing starts number is probably the biggest one. Again, down 0.5% at 1.354 million. Better than expected, though. Higher than expected. I would be sad if you missed a day. I like it a lot when I start my day watching your live. Hey, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, brother. Thanks so much. I know we get some haters sometimes, but it's good to see people tune in. I appreciate the love, you know. I think, you know, we get haters, but I think we have much more supportive people. I think the haters are just louder because they're just unhappy. And, you know, that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I told you guys I wasn't going to move markets. Dollar index is actually down a little bit on this, though. Look at the dip on the dollar index. SPY actually testing the highs of the day, which we've touched like 4 or 5 times at 44. Gold just broke lifetime highs on this report. So it's not like we have no movement here. Gold, again, just broke lifetime highs on this move at 27.3 or 27.30 for gold. 27.30. People only hate up 100%. Yeah, dude, there was a time I streamed from the hospital. Honestly, I don't even know. Hey, yeah, for sure, it's a habit for me to tune in at 8:30. I don't even know. Look at the Dixie fall and gold rip up over highs. Interesting. So the dollar index falls and then gold is ripping over highs. Very interesting. Well, Friday's usually a choppy day. I listen every morning at the gym. Hey, thanks, Jim. I'd miss a day too if not here. Hey, we try. Thanks so much. People hate when they're jealous and envy you. Very informative channel. Hey, thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. Yeah. Trust me, honestly, I like economic reports too. Did I put the data up? Did I post it? I think I did. Let me see. Yeah, here's housing starts data. That's basically what's going on. I'm trying to look at the Dixie fall and then look at gold break highs. Gold's moving up. It's going. Yeah, Amex earnings are out also today. Amex earnings dropped much earlier, though. They posted. Let me find them for you. I'll try to find them. Yeah, so Amex posted 349 versus 328. Revenue of 16.64 versus 16.67. So revenue miss, EPS beat. Here's the data right here. Again, gold breaking lifetime highs. Building permits and housing starts 8:30. Yeah, building permits again showed 1.428 versus 1.46, so lower than expected building permits. We'll put those up in chat as well. John, do you own TLT shares? So 30-year bonds? No, not really. I don't really own 30-year bonds. If I buy bonds, I don't want to lock my money up for freaking 30 years. I don't think that makes any sense. I think it makes much more sense to buy shorter-term bonds because long-term, like over a 20 or 30-year period, you're going to lose so much money investing in bonds. You're not going to literally lose money, but let me explain. The S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow are incredibly consistent long-term. And so making whatever the percentage is, what's the yield on 30-year right now? The yield of 30-year bonds right now is 4.39%. Only making 4.3% a year over a 30-year period. Look at the Dixie dump on this data report. Interesting. Only making 4 point something a year is crazy, right? Why is it crazy? Because if you invest in the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, freaking gold, silver, anything else, basically, you're gonna earn noticeably more than 4%, 4 point something percent a year over a 20 or 30 year period, right? Like the S&P 500 is volatile short term. It can do anything short term. Over a 20-year period, though, you're going to average generally, and it's generally because nothing's ever for sure in markets, but generally you're going to average at least 8 or 9% a year in the S&P 500, and you're going to be able to compound it as well, right? So you're going to be able to, like I'll show you the math on why investing in 30-year bonds is bad, right? So if I buy a 30-year bond, which means that like my money's tied up for 30 years and every year they're going to pay me 4.4%, right? So say I got 100K. 30-year bond, what is it? 0.043 is what they are right now. I'm going to earn $4,300 a year over a 30-year, $4,300 a year times 30 over the life of that entire loan to the U.S. government. Over the life of me holding a 30-year treasury bond, I'm going to only earn 130K in profit. And then at the end of that 30-year period, they're going to give me my 100K back. And this is if I'm buying actual treasury bonds, right? Not ETFs or anything like that. This is actual treasury bonds. I'm only going to make about 130K over a 30-year period investing in that. Yeah, sure, it's over 100%, but who cares? Because it's over a 30-year period. Now, let's say I invest 100K into the S&P 500 and I make a historical reasonable expectation earnings with compounding. I'm going to earn what? 9%. Let's call it 9%. Over 30 years, that 100K is going to turn into this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In 30 years, that 100K, if I invest into the stock market, is going to earn me close to $1.3 million. Give or take, it could always be variance, and that's at 9%. I would give it more 10, 11% on average, but maybe it changes. It could be 8%. You're going to earn $1 million or more generally, most likely at least, and it's not definitive, investing into the S&P, the NASDAQ over 30 years when you include compounding into the equation. And so you can see the huge difference, like why you should never invest in bonds long term like that, in my opinion personally, because the risk of you, the other problem is that in 30 years, 100K is going to be nothing. So you making 100K off of 30-year bonds is a sucker's bet. It's something that you just shouldn't do, in my opinion. But hey. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't forget about it. Also, guys, if you haven't already, again, check out Top Step. Top Step funded account program and futures. We're going to be day trading later on today. Yeah, I mean, you're not technically losing money. Gold's been breaking highs. And again, if you want to check out Top Step funded account program, we're going to day trade closer to the opening bell today. And again, if you want to learn day trading, you could genuinely make a lot of money over time doing it. You could also lose a lot of money. And so being like most people, I would say most people that start day trading, they put up 3, 4, 5 grand. And then they lose all of it. I know I did. At least that's my own personal experience. And so instead of doing that, limit your risk if you want to learn to day trade. Most pro traders, day traders, trade futures. Because in futures, you can day trade gold, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, some currencies. Patterns are very similar to day trading the SPY. You can basically day trade the SPY price action of what's called the S&P E-mini, which is what the SPY tracks in the first place. And so patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns. There's no PDT in futures, so you don't have that type of restriction. If you want to trade stocks, you're going to have to put up 20, 30 grand to day trade it in a margin account. And in futures, you can try these funded account programs. Top Step's the most legit in the world. There's zero commission if you use Top Step X, and so 74 cents in fees is all you pay per trade. I can make $6, $5, $27. It's still net profit. They're going to give you a demo and test your skill with a demo first, and your risk is limited to the monthly subscription, which in this case, the base one's $49 a month. If you lose, if you fail the challenge, all that stuff, you're out $49. It's not the end of the world. If you pass it, you get 50K in funding, 90% split, similar to funding yourself in terms of split, and they pay out millions of dollars to their traders. Again, it's really the best edge in trading right now, if you really want me to be honest. But they're a sponsor. They pay me money. I'm biased because of it. If you want to check out the link, I'll put this link up. Understand, again, I'm biased. They pay me money. Understand CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. I don't guarantee anything. I do trade off stream. I'm one of the top 3 worst traders ever. And the last 2 days will prove that. But if you want to check them out, there's the link. I appreciate the love. Yeah, you're not actually losing money. But you're not making what you could. And again, somebody's saying you don't have to stress about it. Over a 30-year period of time, right? The hardest thing for most investors to do, chat, and this is something I'm very vocal about. Like the hardest thing, you know why? You know why financial planners and managers have careers? You know why? Is because most people do not have the discipline to park their money in stocks that they should, like index funds like the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, and not touch it. Most people do not have that discipline, right? If you want to make money in stocks, the way you do it is you park your money there and you never touch it. In theory, you should hold it forever and pass it on to your kids and build generational wealth from it. But most people don't have the discipline. Most people see they're up 10, 20% over a few year period and they want to lock in profit and congratulate themselves, right? Where the big winners in stocks are people who hold it decades and decades. They don't touch it. You invest, you diversify into different things, or the easier way is just to buy the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow. If you put up a long-term chart, the risk is super freaking low, because this is what it does long-term. Here's 2000. SPY was at $50 in 2000, or the QQQ was at $50 in 2000. It's now at 500. It's 10x'd in 24 years, 10x'd. And so that is how you build wealth long term, and that's about the same period of these bonds. And so again, investing in, like, you have to think about how much inflation is going to happen from now to 30 years from now, right? Like that is going to wipe out any significant gains. Like 100K might sound great. Over a 30-year period, it's not so great. And yeah, I don't know. I think you have to include compounding as well, you know. And again, I might be wrong. I don't know. Do what you guys got to do. I don't guarantee anything. I have no idea what you should do. I just know that the real way to make money long-term investing in stocks is to not buy bonds. It's to invest in the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, gold. You know, if it was me personally, I'd probably buy up the S&P, buy the NASDAQ, maybe add more size into some of these blue chip tech companies that I think have big futures. I got to analyze what I might think is obsolete, what I think has a big future, maybe go a little bit heavier into those, you know, maybe buy some gold, some real estate investment trusts, some crypto to diversify, and then let it sit for 30 years. All right, that's the way. At the very least, that portfolio should keep up with inflation long term, right? Because that's the name of the game with investing in general, is just to keep up with inflation. Dude, why does my phone keep making noise? All right, guys, so the U.S. is going to probe Tesla's full self-driving system after there was somebody that was killed in low visibility conditions. So the U.S. government's road safety agency is investigating their FSD system for Tesla, this time after getting reports of crashes in low visibility conditions, including one that hurt a pedestrian. Yeah, so I don't know. I agree we should investigate it and make sure it's safe. At the same time, though, you have to think about, like, what matters more than anything is the ratio of how many people are hurt in this way from manual drivers versus full self-driving. Like, what's the ratio? What's the percentage of, like, are more people being hurt by FSD? I genuinely doubt it, right? I think more people are certainly hurt more from manual drivers, physical drivers. At the same time, there's much more physical drivers on the road, and so that might skew the statistics. So I think you got to really figure out the percentages there relative to how many drivers are out on the road versus how many drivers are hurt. On both manual drivers as well as FSD. I think that's the only way to really tell. You know, and again, part of the problem with Elon is that he's so political. He's so outspoken. You know, he's selling things to the world, right? It's a bad move. It's a bad decision for him to be like that. You know, it's going to cause problems. Yeah, I don't know when that news came out either. Here's Tesla. Yeah, Tesla down a little bit today. You know, we're going to see whether law enforcement actually has people's best interest in mind, right? Because I think stuff like this, full self-driving, will save lives if they implement it. Why? Because drunk drivers, people like that, are going to have a different way to do it, and it's probably going to be much safer. You know, and we can say, oh, well, they shouldn't be doing it anyway, and it's like, sure, but we can't stop them, and maybe if we give them a different way, they'll use it. But my worry is that law enforcement might be afraid of losing business. It's kind of like them in the cannabis market, in which, like, cannabis-wise, you know, legalizing cannabis is the safest thing for everybody. It genuinely is, right? The reason cannabis is a gateway drug is because you got to go to a legal drug dealer to get it. Eventually, he's going to be like, hey, you want to try this stuff too? And the person's going to say, sure. And then, boom, it's a gateway drug. They went from this to this, right? And that's 100% how it happens, regardless of people that are sticking their head in the sand, refusing to look at that. That's absolutely how it's a gateway drug. If you legalized it and regulated it, it wouldn't be a gateway drug nearly as much. But law enforcement is some of the biggest lobby groups against cannabis legalization. Why? Because they make money from prosecuting that. And so that's my worry about this as well. I don't know if it's going to be in the same way, but that's kind of maybe my bias. I'll go ahead and say over that issue. But yeah. Right, exactly, Max. That's how it happens, man. That really is how it happens. I think everybody knows that's how it happens, too. But for some reason, a gateway drug argument is one of the biggest anti-legalization arguments, which is crazy because I think it's contradicting the point of it, which is that legalize it and regulate it. You're not going to have some sketchy dude offering you other stuff, you know, at the dispensary. Problem I have with it being legal is people smoke it while driving down the road. Yeah, but I mean, what you have to understand is that people are going to consume it regardless of its legalization status, right? Like, they're going to use it regardless of anything, you know? And there's certainly legal forms of it now anyway. And so, yeah, I mean, people are going to consume it regardless of that. Anyway, SPY up to 584s. Where's the what's the high of the day? Okay, SPY broke highs of the day. It's at 584. So building permanent housing start data might have influenced the market a little bit. It definitely pushed gold up some, which is interesting. We're watching super micro semiconductors as well. NVIDIA almost up to 139s. And so here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is edging closer and closer. It's at 138.80s. I don't like the smell of it. Well, it smells like a skunk. That's what it smells like. You know. Apple, yeah, Apple's close to all-time highs. It's at 236.50s. Netflix, man, Netflix earnings crazy good, up to almost 735s. Yeah, Netflix is up huge too. Percentage-wise, it's a pretty big percentage. It's up like $50 a share. So $50 a share for Netflix is a pretty big percentage, right? Pretty big percentage. You know, it's a little bit less than 10% increase. This is what, like 7%? Let's see what John's head math is right. 687 up to 733. Yeah, 7%. 6.7% to be exact, but still point remains. Netflix up about 7%. All right, we'll see if it continues. I think it's a little extended. I think we might have pullbacks. It's also Friday, and Friday, again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Don't copy me. Not an investment professional, but Fridays are usually kind of choppy anyway. All right, we got 40 minutes until the market opens, guys. 40 minutes. We got a bunch of Fed speakers speaking today. So we've got Bostic, we've got Kashkari speaking today. And so we do actually have a lot of Fed members speaking this morning. All right, chat. So, yeah, I'm waiting here. I love the weather out right now, by the way. Again, I don't want to. I'm going to start to potentially day trade, I guess, here this morning. We do have some Fed members speaking. We do have some Fed members speaking. Market's been kind of flat, though. Like, look at this. We do have a little trend here. Yeah, so trying to see how good the internet is. Alright, so we got this dip. Part of me wants to buy, but I want to see the video of this, man. Yeah, media. YouTube just crashed. No, YouTube's still fine. Short metals? Nah, I'm gonna wait. I'm trying to be patient today, guys. I really am. Yesterday I got stuck losing. And so I really am trying to be patient. I'm going to try to attack longer term ranges and just be patient with everything today is what I'm looking at. I'm going to mute the music for just a second here and see if I can find this. I was watching one of these football fight videos, man. The dude in the Ravens game just seems dumb, though. Like, yeah, we're sitting tight. We're waiting. 3, 2, 1. I haven't really looked at I mean, it's a penny stock. It's up. It's not really my game, though. What's your opinion on Upstart Holdings? I think Upstart's lost some steam. But I haven't really been following it for over the year. It's down huge. This thing is down from $400 all the way down to $52. It was at $400 in 2021. Why I always make 10 or 20% on every trade? I can never make 100%. What about 1,000%, man? Why can't I ever make 50,000%? Right now, you know, like, gosh, man, you know, like, why is it that every year I only make 5 million and I don't make 500 million? You know what I mean? Like, I'm kind of bummed out about it, right? Like, that's how, like, what I just said is basically what you said. Oh no, you're only making 10 or 20% a trade. If you think it's reasonable to make 100% on a trade, somewhere you've got this gambling mentality. I would be careful. I'm just kind of messing with you, just joking a little bit, but 10 or 20% is great. And my guess is if you're trying to make that much on every single trade, you're eventually going to lose your account, right? Like 10 to 20% a trade is not a reasonable expectation. It's something that, you know, I mean, of course it sounds great, but nobody's really going to be able to do that. You know. I don't lose, bro. Never fixing to win again. Yeah. Why did this guy beat up those other guys, though? I don't understand, you know? This guy, John Callis. Why? Like, what's the point? Says the incident involving Baltimore Ravens fan occurred after a game between the Ravens and the Commanders. John Callis was involved in an assault on Washington after their Week 6. The incident was caught on video and went viral, prompting outrage. He lost his job. Good. The video I see, he just kind of walked up to some random people and they were like, no, no, no. And he just started swinging on him. I don't know why. Seems dumb. Yeah, Mark Douglas, the GOAT, man. Trading in the Zone, huge book. Rest in peace to Mark Douglas. Seeing a video of horses follow along the line. It says they're better than cyclists. Honestly, I hate bicyclists. I genuinely hate them. I'm not trying to be mean. I just dislike them. You know, like especially like in like where I live, they literally ride in the center of the road, right? And I get it, they're allowed to, but it's just kind of like, dude, okay, like I understand riding in the center of the road sometimes, but if you're in a higher speed area and you're driving in the center of the road on a bicycle, like, dude, get out the way, man. Let cars pass, you know? Like you're not even going anywhere. You're just kind of riding around. Like, just, I don't know, man. I call them bikelers. My whole family hates them. I'm sorry if that's you. I'm just letting it out. I'm venting. John would have tapped him out. I don't know, dude. That dude had some hands, honestly. As much as I hate to admit the bad guy had hands, that dude had some hands, you know? That dude hit that first guy, and that guy just, boop, it just dropped. Yeah. Alright, guys. So we're still in this trend. I'm seeing this trend right now. This is the trend I see. Again, I'm trying to be patient. I haven't traded it all today. That's the trend I see, right? Terrible drawing here. Top 3 worst ever, but that's the trend I see. So we'll see if we hold in this trend. Again, I'm trying not to take any trades until after the opening bell and just be disciplined. Yeah, like they're just blocking traffic, man. You know, like I always told my kids, like, you know the rich middle-aged men that get up on a Sunday morning and put a bunch of spandex on and put all these crazy futuristic helmets on and then ride around. If that's you, listen, it's all good. I'm just joking, right? But I've given them a nickname. They're called bikelers. My whole family says it now. I'm a trendsetter in my family. But we call them bikelers. I freaking hate them. I hate those guys. You know? And not everybody that rides a bicycle is one, you know? Again, it has to do with the futuristic helmet and spandex. Right, exactly, Pawn. Share the road. Listen, they're blocking the road. They're causing more problems on the road than anybody else. Like, I don't care how fast your bike is, you know? All right, yeah, well, I'm looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's creeping up here. So here's NVIDIA. Netflix should be dragging the rest of the tech market up. Yeah, see, look, everybody agrees with me. I was worried I would get some people in here like, hey, don't you talk about us like that. You know, I was ready to defend myself and my stance. But it looks like almost everybody agrees, so that's good to know. I felt like I was going to have somebody here that was going to be like, nah, bro, I'm a biker. You know, I've got a futuristic helmet and spandex. You know, I go out every Sunday and ride in a pack of bikelers. How dare you, you know? And I was just waiting for that response. And so I'm happy to see it. I was going to buy this dip too, in hindsight, but... No bikelers playing the market? I get it. Where are your soulmates? I see it, man. I see it. Scooters are fine, you know. I like scooters. Apple does not look like a great buy right now, personally. Apple's up so much, and maybe I'm wrong, but Apple, it's close to lifetime highs, but it recently broke it yesterday. And so while it looks strong, it also seems a little extended on the upside short term. Long term, Apple's probably going to be fine. Like as a buy, long term, it's probably going to be okay. Apple's one of the most successful companies in the world, obviously. So Apple's the largest company in the world. This is what I was telling my wife. I was watching The Office with my family yesterday, and they had the episode where Kelly does some type of like training, business training, and she comes back and she's like, hey, you know, if somebody asks what is the biggest company in the world, I would answer it and know it. And my response to my wife was like, the biggest company in the world is probably Apple if we're looking at market cap. So I was right. Apple at 3.535 trillion market cap. Nvidia number 2, which is also what I said, at 3.4 trillion market cap. But Nvidia, you know, Nvidia's creeping up. They're in a race. Microsoft's number 3 largest company in the world at 3.1 trillion, and then Google or Alphabet is number 4 at almost 2 trillion. So Apple, one of the strongest companies in the world, or the strongest company in the world, I should say. But Nvidia is getting pretty close, right? If we put up Nvidia on the right side. If Nvidia breaks highs again, it could definitely, like, they're very close to each other. They're about 100 million away market cap wise, a little bit more than that. I think it's actually about 150 million in away. It's about 0.15 billion away from each other. Nvidia at 3.388 trillion, Apple at 3.535 trillion. So. I mean, I'm okay if kids are doing it because I think that's good. Like, let kids ride bikes. I'm okay with being a mountain biker. Mountain bikers are cool. You know why? You know why? Because they're riding their bikes in the mountains, right? They're riding their bikes on trails. They're jumping stuff. You know, that's objectively cool. I'm talking about, you know, the people wear spandex on just a Sunday. Sunday, they get up, they say, you know what? I'm gonna throw on the spandex. I'm gonna go put a futuristic helmet on. That's probably super overpriced, and I'm gonna get on my mountain bike and just act like I'm really cool. But mountain bikers are cool. My dentist neighbor. All right, guys, we're waiting here. We got 23 minutes. Trying not to take a trade. You know, I think I'm also going to come up with another thing in which I see this trend right here. Right, here's the trend. Very obvious trend. We've been in this trend for hours now. Right? Look at that bottom trend line. It's probably the most consistent. We've been in this trend. I think lately I've been shorting the top of this range, like up here, up here, up here. I think from now on I'm going to just trade with the trend. I think it's a more... I think when we come back down here, buying the bottom of this range and trying to ride it up is probably a safer bet. And so I'm going to try to trade with the trend from now on. I like riding bikes. You know, when I grew up in 5th grade, I used to ride my bike to school every day. And like the cool bike on the street at the time was a Mongoose bicycle. I never had one because my parents, you know, I love them, but they were really cheap and never got me one. But my friends had one. You know, I had a Huffy, I'm pretty sure. And dude, to be fair, I messed that Huffy up. Like, there were multiple times where the wheels were just bent. I remember the wheels were bent. My dad would hammer the wheel out, but it still wouldn't ride perfectly. And so driving down the street in like 5th grade, my front wheels would just be wobbling really, really bad. Yeah, that's them pawn for sure, right there. Never got one, man. Never got a Mongoose. Maybe that's why I hate bikelers so much. It reminds me of a past, you know. Mongoose expert, yeah. That was the cool thing in the 90s, man. Everybody had one. All right, chat. We got 20 minutes. Yeah, this was when like Dave Mirra and BMX were first a big thing. I miss the 90s, man. 90s were fun. I was more of a skateboarder anyway, though, but... They drive on the highway? How? All right. So, sorry, my wife. Yeah, I trade the micro NASDAQ most of the time. Real estate or stock market hold for long term. Most of my net worth is on real estate now with 6 properties. I think you can look at it like this, right? So real estate, I think they're both good. They're both good. Now the biggest change in both of these, I would say if you buy right, real estate could outperform the stock market. But there's also a chance that the stock market outperforms real estate in that regard as well, especially if you don't buy the best property. But I like real estate better, specifically for the leverage. Like an example of this is I can buy a $300,000 house. I'm going to earn historically about 4% on that property a year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. In 30 years, I'm going to make about $1 million from a $300,000 property in value and appreciation. So in about 30 years, that $300K property is going to cost about $1 million. In just appreciation terms, right? So that's one aspect of real estate. The other aspect is this, where, so let's just put this profit in an easy to understand way. All right, so you're going to earn about what? $700K in appreciation from $300K property over 30 years. All right, so sorry, my wife's asking me stuff right now. We got 15 minutes, chat. So again, $300,000 property, you're gonna earn about $700K in appreciation. The other aspect of it is rent, right? So there's a rule in rental real estate called the 1% rule, meaning you should be able to get about 1% a month for that property in terms of real estate, right? Now it's not perfect. You're usually gonna get a little bit less because 1% would be, so anyway, so let's say you buy a $300,000 property and let's say you get $2,500 a month in rent. So $2,500 a month in rental income times 12 per year would be about 30 grand a year. I'm going to take again about 40% of this off, just to make it realistic for taxes and insurance and expenses, right? So you're going to profit about $18,000 a year in cash flow from that rental property, right? So $18,000 net cash flow, give or take. This could vary for sure. Now, let's say you earn that over 30 years as well. You make about $540K. So again, $300K is going to turn into a lot. But the other part of this that is a little bit harder to figure out, and I can figure it out, right? So the way you'd figure it out is like this. So if you earn $2,500 a month, over time, if you earn $2,500 a month, this number will increase over time with inflation as well, right? So instead of earning $2,500 a month, if you grow this by 4%, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so within 30 years, instead of earning $2,500 a month in rental income, you're going to earn about $8 grand a month from appreciation. So you're going to earn more and more and more over time from that as well. So it's a little bit harder to figure out in that way. Like there's formulas for it, and look at the market break highs. But my point is, real estate's very diversified because of that. You get appreciation in the property, and you also get cash flow on top of it, and then you also get appreciation from the cash flow as the value of your property rises. Now, a lot of that's going to be canceled out because of inflation, but that's kind of canceling out the point of it, which is the point of this is to profit and keep up with inflation. Instead of, if you sit on cash as an example, you're going to lose so much more than this to inflation over time. Sorry, I know my phone's loud. I think we trade sideways or reach new all-time highs and hold there. Maybe we'll see. Honestly, the market's flying up. I kind of want to short now, but I told myself I wasn't going to do that. We got 13 minutes left. Again, I do kind of want to short now, but I told myself I wasn't going to do that. If you're keeping 40% of the rental income, that's rent times 40. Well, no, it's more nuanced than that, right? So again, well, I guess you're actually right. You could calculate it like that. That makes sense. So the market is in extreme happiness. Well, it's just breaking highs again. I do want to short this top. We're at 20.5. The highs of the NASDAQ are at 20.94. Yeah, so look at this high break. We're at 20.54. So yeah, we'd earn about 700,000 in appreciation, and then the rental income would be approximately $1.7 million in total cash flow from rental income. So yeah, so you'd earn in total over a 30-year period millions of dollars from the rental property that you're paying $300,000 for, and that's why it's valuable, usually at least. So according to AI, it would be, hold on. Yeah. Now, you're not going to keep all this in net, right? So you're going to earn about 1.7 million minus 40%. So really the total number here would be 1.682 million 548 times 0.6 is your net. So you're going to earn about $1 million basically from that rental property plus 700,000 in appreciation. So this is the number you get from a $300,000 property over time, which is good, right? Like that's the reason people invest in real estate. Now you do that with 5 properties and you can kind of see how your net worth grows and grows and grows and grows from it. But the stock market's similar in that way as well, right? It's just, but it's much less work. Well, no, so I said 40% of expenses, not 60. So I said take 40% off of that for expenses, and then you have multiply it times 0.6 would be your net, is what I'm saying. So you just got it backwards, Matt. All right, guys, Apple right at the volume weighted average price level. We'll see if it holds. Which is more work? Real estate's far more work. Investing, you just literally sit on it. You hold your shares. Yeah, good luck, Chad. We got 9 minutes left. Do you think this S&P 500 is better than real estate when considering the time needed to manage properties? I think I'm a big believer in diversification. So I think, I like the tangibility of real estate, if that makes sense. But I think they both have pros and cons. It depends on the person. I like real estate better personally because I don't mind putting in the extra work for the extra gains. But I also invest in the stocks as well, of course, because I think if you're not, you're being silly. So just I'm a big believer in diversification. Yeah, and it might be closer to 0.6 in expenses, 60% expenses, Matt. Like, that might be true as well, you know. All right, guys, and again, we are going to be day trading on Top Step X today. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade, short, all this cool stuff in futures. No PDT restrictions. It's a powerful thing, Chad. It really is. It's a powerful thing. Next week is a massive week in terms of earnings, all kind of stuff. And so be ready, Chad. It's a big week. It really is. Again, if you want to day trade with me today, I'm trading a 50K funded account on Top Step. The way I earn this and the way you earn it on Top Step, again, they give you a demo. They test your skill with said demo. If you pass the test, they fund you. The base one, you get 50K. It's $49 a month to take the challenge. It's a great test. It builds your skill just taking the challenge because it teaches you how to follow rules. And it's cheap. If you were going to buy real-time data that you get from this, it's going to cost about the same, about $50, you know, so the value's there. If you pass it, you get a 50K funded account, 90% split. You get to keep your first like 10 or 20K in profit as well. No PDT in futures. I can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, gold, Russell, some currencies. Patterns are very similar to blue chips. Top 3 plugs in the world right now is what this is. If you remember, they're a sponsor affiliate of mine. They pay me money. I'm biased. Check out the link. But again, if you want to learn day trading, this is the way, right? The Big Edge, Top Step X, 0 commissions. I haven't traded today yet, but look at no commissions, 74 cents in fees per trade. That's a tiny amount. Again, it's the biggest edge in funding right now, in my opinion. But again, we still got about 6 minutes left. Yeah, I mean, I think you're probably going to profit a little bit more. But yeah. Do you ever get nervous taking a trade? Of course, everybody does. Alright guys, so look at this big dip, man, wow. So if there's any news, Amex CEO says U.S. consumer is stable but spending is lower than post. Says the impact of Fed rate cuts on is quite small. Alright guys, we got 3.5 minutes. Look at this drop. I'm trying to see if there's a reason for this drop. Look at this. Wow. What a drop. Kind of a crazy drop too, man. Look at this. What a freaking drop, man. Weird. Alright, chat, here we go. 3 minutes left. Still trying to figure out what this drop is. Does anybody know? Is it Amex? Or is it Microsoft? I'm trying to look at some different stocks here. Microsoft. Microsoft did dip. Apple dipped some. Nvidia dipped too. It might be Nvidia. Nvidia fell pretty quickly. A lot of tech stocks fell. I'm not sure why. Oh, we got Fed speakers speaking right now, I think, right? We've got Kashkari speaking in 3 minutes. I know that. Yeah. Alright, we got 2 minutes. We basically retraced all the way back up too. Look at that. Weird. Strange. Big rebound in Apple and Nvidia. Look at Nvidia go all the way back up. Very strange. Look at that big move all the way back up. Again, Kashkari's supposed to be speaking basically right now. Maybe it's good I didn't trade right now. Where's Netflix? I forgot to look at Netflix. Oh, Netflix just broke highs too. Maybe that's what's dragging market up. All right, guys, here we go. We got 20 seconds. All right, here's the opening bell in 10 seconds, chat. All right, so there's the opening bell. Big volatile action leading into the opening bell, guys. Y'all just be careful. Alright, so we got a little retracement back up. Nvidia came all the way back down. I wonder how many people this just stopped out of stuff with how volatile this is, man. Weird. And we do have some FOMC members speaking right now. We got Kashkari speaking, I believe. Or no, Bostic. Raphael Bostic speaking right now. Kashkari speaks in 30 minutes. And again, we're going to cover what he says when they report it. I just be careful, guys, right now. There's the opening bell. Part of me wants to buy this dip, but I do want to wait. I'm going to let the opening bell play out too. We've been very patient, chat. Very patient. So we're going to keep trying to be patient here. See if we can let it work. So we got a little flush breakdown. Look at nvda dumping down to 137s. Apple at 235. Alright guys, nvda at 138. nvda at 138. Popping right back up to that previous support level. I'd like to short this, but I still gotta wait. I think we got a big resistance level to short, but it also is gonna be relative to what nvda does here. Alright, so we're about 3 minutes into the day. Alright, I'm gonna start to short this now. We're short one contract. We'll take two here, get it started. Oh, we do we have Michigan consumer sentiment today? No. Okay, yeah, no, we don't. That's next week. Alright, so we're up small. Now we're kind of flat. Should have got a good fill there too. Ah, terrible fill. Why is the price acting like that? That's weird. Oh, we're trading the freaking E-mini, dude. Oh man, dude, I forgot to switch. That's what just happened. I was correct about my trade too. I forgot to switch to the NASDAQ versus the E-mini. E-mini's much slower. That's why. But we were right about our little direction there too. Here, we're supposed to have people here. I'm trying to make sure. All right. Little baby trade in the books. The good thing about Top Step is that I can take these little baby trades and still make money. What the heck is going on? I just made some money there. That was a lot of volatility short term. I was very right about it, but all right, we're short. Take two contracts here. Lock a little bit in. Maybe add some more, fix the average up here. 3 contracts. So we can retrace back down. Bad fill on that end. Alright, so we're green. We made about $20 net. But yeah, I gotta bind this together, which I think is, I forgot how to do it, but it's alright. I'm gonna buy this down here, see if I can get a little cheap entry and ride it up. 2 contracts here. See, I saw nvda pushing up. I thought it might be a good little dip buy. We're kind of flat on this now, but it's taking too long. Made a little bit, took half off there. We're out. We're taking small little scalps. I like this trade though, and we've been very correct about our direction here, but I don't know how long this is gonna last. I'll buy it down here again. I like nvda pushing up some. We got a cushion that we can swing into. All right, we got out. Very choppy day. Netflix breaking highs again, kind of dragging the whole tech market up. Nvidia's fallen down some, but that's all right. Let me see what I'm up right now. I'm trying to see what Kashkari's saying. We do have some Fed members speaking currently. So we do have some Fed members speaking here. Let's see, we're supposed to have somebody.
Sunlight that always stays, dinner by the waterway. It's that sweet life. Raise
All right, guys. So
made some dude crack a smile. He asked if I could stay a while.
okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back. So the market's fallen down a little bit. It might be better that I'm not trading anyway, just because of the range that we're seeing. So bear with me. I'll be right back. She said I already told ya, yeah. I never dated a black guy. I said you're brown yourself. Let me offer help. Come on inside. All right, guys. So it's SoFi going up. Let's see. So we we are back up some. I'm gonna short this now too. You got a little bit of a cushion. I'll take a risk. Well, yeah, I'm gonna cut this. Let's see. Alright, we're out. Let's see. I should be kind of flat today now too. Yeah, it could be worse, but I think I'm probably just gonna hang it up. I think the good thing is that yeah, yeah, my dogs are barking, and I'm trying not to. Yeah, we're basically flat, which is good. Dropped in pop. Yeah, I just don't want to give too much back to the market right now. I'll wait. We'll see if we get some rejections. But I know nvda pushed up a lot. It's so hard to get good fills in futures too. Yeah, I'm gonna put up a 5 minute. Put myself on the lower left. I can. Let me see. Put myself there. So we actually got ourselves pretty flat on the day. So we are down $20. Big reversal. I just don't know what I think the SPY is gonna do. It's so hard to tell if the SPY starts moving up. I think the momentum is definitely on the upside now. Okay, so look, we put one trade up where we're shorting this longer term range, and I think I'm gonna try to make, if we could drop all the way back here, great, but we only have one contract, so if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world, is what we have up. And again, this is Top Step. If you want to check out Top Step, trade with me. This was a tough week. I would have lost so much more if I funded myself, right? I would have lost so much more. And the benefit is this, is that there's no PDT in futures. So if you want a way to get around the PDT rule and get exposure to some stocks, you can't trade stocks directly. But what you can trade is index funds that's made of stocks like the S&P, the NASDAQ. It's what the SPY and Q track. No PDT rule. You can trade the Dow, the Russell, gold, currencies. No PDT restrictions, and just a way to limit your risk if you're learning to day trade, or even if you're a good day trader and you want to take less risk. Instead of risking 10, 20, 30K, you can risk $50 for the base one, you know? And again, the biggest edge is that there's zero commissions here. So if you look at this, I can make these type of trades with zero commission. No PDT rule, 74 cents in fees per trade, and that's a powerful edge in futures. You don't really find many futures platforms. You got to use Top Step X, but you don't really find too many futures platforms that give you that. All right, so we're gonna add to our winning trade now. We have a winning trade, we're gonna add to it. Take half off there, lock it in. So I believe we're pretty close to being green on the day now. Let's see if we can get a little bit more here. I'm gonna short it on the end of this pop. I like that big upwick rejection. We're gonna take 3 contracts now. Take a little bit more risk. See if we can get a breakdown. There we go. Alright, so now we are effectively green on the day as well. Got a really nice string of trades here. Shorting the top of that range. It's Friday. Oh, I know Main Street Capital. What did they pay? And so is this investing in the Main Street? Yeah, their year has been kind of mixed. They've gone up over time, too, so we're correct about our direction here. The VIX is down a little bit today, too. Yeah, so we're coming back down. I might buy the bottom range here. We're kind of flat so far, so the best thing I can hope for is to attack choppy direction. Try to build up a cushion of profit first. We're flat. Alright. Nice little string of trades. Very quick. Grinding it up. Might buy this bottom too. 3 contracts. We got a cushion that we're trying to swing into, but we'll see how it goes. Alright. Got the bottom here. We got this major support level. This is the previous all-time high right here. This light blue line that you see on the chart. I tend to be doing much better whenever I tend to be doing much better whenever I trade after the open and limit my trades early. Choppy range. All right, so I'm going to cut out of here, guys, probably. Again, if you want to day trade with me on Top Step, this is the edge. This is the biggest edge in funding right now. Like you can see, on the last 20 trades, I've only had two losses. This one's 0. 2 losses out of 20, so that's 90% over the last 20 trades. I'll take it. But this is the biggest edge in funding because I can do it with 0 commission. Here's the fees. Commissions 0. And so that's the biggest edge in funding. Again, if you want to learn more about that, check out the link for Top Step in the description. I'll see y'all later. Y'all be good. Love you all. Y'all have a great day. I'll try to We'll be back earlier on Monday because I think Monday we've got some stuff. Let me see. So this upcoming week, we've got some earnings. But the big earnings are mid next week. So yeah, so Tuesday we got Verizon, GM, 3M, RTX. Tuesday we got ENPH, a bunch of other ones too. So yeah, y'all have a great weekend. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Again, y'all be safe this weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Remember, not an investment professional, not liable if you lose. Don't sue me, guys. I'll see you guys later.